Morning. It's Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday. I am Trooper Steve Montiero, your News 6 traffic safety expert. Pretty much your safety advocate, right? Squeaky wheel gets the oil. I don't mind being called a squeaky wheel because that's what it's about, guys. So we are driving around. I'm on the west side today, headed west on State Road 50. Not headed to anywhere specific, but I don't come out to the Pine Hills area too often, so I wanted to come out. Right now we're at Colonial and Mercy. Just cruising, really. Brake light out right in front of us. Always check that stuff. You want to always make sure your vehicle's properly up to speed and ready to rock and roll. Never know. Oh, today we are, I'm going to let this bus in. And you should always yield right away to the buses. It is the law to allow them back in. And they do have a yield sign that flashes that says specifically, yield and let them in. State law does indicate you must allow mass transit back into traffic. So you just holding them up is holding up other traffic, guys, and that defeats the whole purpose of public transportation, right? More people on it, the better. That's what we want. So be nice to them. They're already at work. That's what used to upset me all the time when I was a trooper. People would be like, hey, you guys are always here, you're always there, why can't I do that? Now, what I'm going to say may not sit well with many people, but think about it. I've seen even people complain about firefighters at the grocery store. Like, get a life. Look at this one on the phone. Just all up on it. Oh, I love my engineer Tyler for putting these in the car. All up on that phone. Anyways, they're already at work. They're doing their job. They are functioning at their office even while they're not actively doing their job. So you've got to be a little bit understanding to it. These Lynx bus drivers, these railroad operators, they're at their job while they are inconveniencing you, in a sense. Let them do their job, and we can all work together a little bit better, right? I'm going to pull up into a parking lot over here so we have some space and we can talk a little bit without being bothered, right? So we'll pull into this parking lot right here. Very deserted area, and we'll be able to chat a little bit about our topic today, which is a pretty good one because I don't get to talk to specific audiences a lot. All right, let's chat a little bit. Vehicle in park, seatbelt off, doors locked, situational awareness, check, check, check. We're all right. Okay, let's chat. Today's topic, we're specifically addressing our senior population, our elderly drivers. I really like to call anybody who's been driving more than 30 years our experienced drivers. You think about it, you get your license around 15 to 20, add 30 years, 50 plus, you should know what you're doing at this point. So now I want you to add another 10, 15 years to that, 65, 70-year-old. By no means is any of this disrespectful to any audience. But what I want to be clear is when I talk to you guys about certain topics, I come to you from a place of experience and a place of compassion that I truly want us all to be aware of certain things when we're operating a motor vehicle. This is thousands of pounds. In this case, results one is a extremely heavy piece of machinery. Some people drive small cars. Some people drive big cars. Either way, the car itself is a large piece of metal, possibly a weapon going down the road. And we must be fitted properly, right? So there is a program called CarFit. Now, this is not a CarFit story, but I want to tell you about it. A program called CarFit that blew my mind. If you know me, I have a soft spot for our elderly population. And when I found out about this, I was just as confused. I was like, wait, you're telling me you have to tell people to refit themselves in the car? And it is true. How many times have you, at home or wherever you're watching this right now, gotten into a vehicle? I know I have, because I'm 5'8" on a good day. So just imagine Matt Austin, who's like 6 foot something, or Ginger, getting into this vehicle, into Results One, and trying to drive away right away. They would be sitting here like this, because they'd have to make certain adjustments. But what I have experienced and what data shows is that our senior population tend not to make adjustments to their vehicles when they start to hit a certain age, or we rely on our wife or our husband or our spouse to do all the driving for us. And then one day that person's no longer doing the driving because of illness or because of whatever life's challenges, and now you have to take that over. When you get into that vehicle, things are not going to be the same. And then think about all the other sides of it. When we start to get older, certain things do affect our driving. Now, I'm 36 years old, so I'm not necessarily talking to everybody. I am talking to people 60, 65, and really much older, or people who suffer from serious ailments throughout their lives. So first and foremost, let's talk about some of the senior safety tips. That guy's going quick. Look at that. Whew. Like my sound effects? All right, back. So let's talk about just a few of them. First and foremost, what kind of medications are you taking? So you want to talk to your doctor. You want to talk to your pharmacist. Are the prescriptions over the counter, behind the counter? What kind of side effects do they have? Are you going to be drowsy? This really applies to almost anybody if you're on any type of medications, right? Have your eyes checked by an eye doctor at least once a year. Once you start wearing glasses and you start to experience some type of fatigue, you want to constantly maintain that check on your eyes. They're vital to operating a car. Seriously. And wear your glasses, your corrective lenses as directed. So if you have a label on your driver's license, you may have something that says corrective lenses mandatory. I say this all the time. Plan your route before you leave. Know what roads you want to go on before you leave the house. So if you're someone who does not drive often and you drive maybe necessarily on necessity only, then it might work for you to say, okay, I am leaving the house during this hour. I want to go here, set my GPS, review that route, and then head out. But keep in mind, it could change. So if a crash happens, something occurs out in the roadway. But have an idea of where you want to go and how you want to get there. On the other side of it is find the safest route with the most lit streets. Look, even I'm 36 and I'm struggling with my sight at night. So if something has a route that takes me I-4, and this is completely just an example, I-4 to I-95, I-4 is more well lit than I-95 is. I-95 has a lot of rural stretches in which you only get the areas lit by your exits and entrances. I-4 is lit majority of the area, so I hope you understand what I'm saying here. And of course, you can go to mymobility.com and you can get so much resources there. If you're a reader and you like to have those resources readily available, you can find that stuff there. So now, the nuts and bolts of what we were talking about today is the vehicle itself. See how I'm leaning right now? This right here, how dangerous is this? Do you know that there is a little, I'm going to use a very triggering word, explosive device inside of your compartments here for your airbags that allow them to go off. I understand statures change. I really, really do. But you have to also think, do you want that airbag in your face? I don't. I know you don't. So there are some things that we can go over. So let's go over. I want to make sure I hit certain things, so I do have a checklist here with me on how we're gonna go over this, and we're gonna go over this very systematically because I really think this stuff is extremely vital and can be helpful to someone. So first, are you the driver of your vehicle? If you're the driver of your vehicle, it needs to be set for you. Sometimes newer vehicles, you have memory settings. Heck, if you're a routine driver, or if that's your car, passengers or not, make sure one of those settings belong to you. If you're driving that vehicle all the time, you're good to go. Seatbelt use. How are you wearing your seatbelt? So as we get older, we get set in our ways, we get very stubborn, and we'd like to do certain things. So when that seatbelt is on you, you need to make sure you stretch out, buckle, and then release back. This will give you full coverage here. I know there's somebody going to watch this and roll their eyes. Roll your eyes, because someone needs to watch this right now. This gives you a proper fitting here, okay? Also, you want at least 10 inches from your face and the steering wheel. At a minimum, 10 inches. Now, I know you're like, wow, that's a lot, but you have to, if the airbag is, if you don't have 10 inches between you and your airbag and your seatbelt, then you're not using everything that your vehicle has given you for the most, for it to do what it was designed to do. You got to give yourself a fighting chance, okay? So, what not to do with your seatbelt, ladies and gentlemen. Here, up, over, okay? You never want to put your elbow over your seatbelt. Switch cameras here. This is not, you want it across your chest, not underneath your arm. Is this comfortable? Heck yeah, this is comfortable. But what happens? I'm going to go forward here, okay? It's just going to hold my back, but my upper body. It's designed to keep you there, okay? Also, this one, behind the back. I get it. Back in the day, this was the only thing we had. That is the reason we call it back in the day. The day does not exist anymore. It is current modern day, and studies now show you need to wear your seatbelt properly across your chest. No vehicle is made with just a lap bar anymore. It is what it is. Got to make sure the hair still looks good. Steering wheel tilt. So let's go over this here. Our beautiful, nifty steering wheel, brought to you by Ford, is here with us, and we want to look at our steering. Is the steering wheel properly tilted toward the driver's chest, not the head? So what are we looking for? We are looking for an area in which this emblem area is pointed at my chest, not at my face. You do not want this pointed towards your face. You want this area pointed towards your chest. So that's what we're talking about when the steering wheel tilt. Can the driver view the speedometer clearly? Okay, we can see the speedometer. Based on the initial measurements, is the steering wheel at a safe distance, 10 inches or more, 25 centimeters for my out of USA. So that's what we want to figure out. We want to determine steering wheel tilt here and distance. The goal is to tilt this steering wheel in a place to where we can achieve 10 inches from the face to the steering wheel, and to where the steering wheel, the point is towards your chest, and I have clear view of all my instruments here, instruments being my speedometer and stuff like that. You do not want the top of your steering wheel blocking any of your instruments or your view. So this is lined up exactly with my eyes. So I have a very clear view of what I want to see. The only thing blocking my view is the pillar here. All right. So when we're doing that, you can make your own adjustments. Find out what works for you. All right, now let's move on. Our headrest, our Trooper Steve customized Gibson Truck World headrest here. Handy dandy. This is not for us to rest our head. We do, right? This is to protect us from snapping our neck. I've seen people remove them. Doesn't make sense to me. So if you have an adjustable headrest, we want to make sure that the center portion of your head there, that little bump, is lined up with either the center or just below so that you have proper function. You don't want it too far down to where your head's leaned back. You want it to where if you were to just rest your head on the headrest, you're good to go. All right. Line of sight above the steering wheel. So we talked about that. Can you see above your steering wheel? If you can't, if for some reason your vision looks something like this, we have a problem. You want your vision here. And if that means adjusting your seat, then you can do so. But you should see the hood of your vehicle. You should not have this as the obstruction trying to look over it. You should already be here, okay? Just something for us to really think about. And I want you to think about that because sight is everything when operating your motor vehicle. Positioning of the gas pedals and brake pedals. So depending on your vehicle, this was new to me. I didn't know this was a thing. You can adjust your brake pedals and your accelerator and bring them closer to you. Can you reach them without leaving the back of your seat? Okay. Can you leave them without, can you touch them and reach them without touching the back of your seat? Okay. And a big one here I absolutely love is the mirror adjustment. And I don't have two people, but I want to show you something. So we're going to show you here. So this is me looking at my side view mirror currently, right? So this is the mirror right there, obviously. Why do I need to see how beautiful my vehicle is, right? You do not need to see how beautiful your vehicle is. You own that car. You're driving it. You already know. What you want to see, though, is everything, all that dead space. So you want to adjust your mirror as far out as possible. And when I say that is you want to see your driver's side handle on the bottom of it and then push out till you can barely see your car. So from where I'm looking, look at all the extra space from me from here to looking there, and there's no dead space. Because look at how I can just move a little bit and see everything now. So many people love having that mirror. Adjust your side view mirrors. And in conjunction, of course, you want to work with your rear view mirror. But the same thing would also apply for your outside mirror. You don't need to see everything. What you want to see is the floor and a few lanes. So when you do adjust that mirror, you want to push it out as far as you can and then work your way back in slowly till you can see your car. You can dip down a little bit and you've eliminated all that dead space there. That has saved so many people. It was probably the biggest thing we did during that certification phase when I got to experience this with other drivers, the mirror adjustment. And it really changes between hitting something. It can make you a lot more comfortable even in parking lots. It is the little thing. And then finally, your controls. You want to make sure that you have access to everything around you. Know where everything's at. When I first got this truck, it is completely set up in my car. I have a tiny, small, little compact car, and I got into this, and the layout is just completely different. So you want to make yourself aware. Where are your hazard lights? Where are your turning signals? Where are those instruments so that you know where they are and you could reach them? So I really hope this was obviously common sense, but maybe like, I need to check on things. So what did we talk about? If you're just joining us, we talked about things seniors can do to help them fit better in their vehicle, operate their motor vehicles a little bit safer. So first and foremost, you want to make sure that the driver is okay. Talk with your doctor, your pharmacist. Are you on any medications that could impair your driving? Plan your route. Is your route a well-lit roadway? You want to make sure that you're taking what's right for you, maybe not necessarily what's good for the commute, but what's going to allow you to get there safer. And then we got into the car and we talked about the fixins here, right? What did we talk about? We talked about our seatbelt placement, proper wear of the seatbelt, distance from the steering wheel. We want 10 inches or more between our body and the steering wheel. That sometimes requires placement, steering wheel tilting. Can we see our instruments, and can I see over the steering wheel? I'm not trying to look through it. I want to see over it. I want to see my hood. It's a combination of adjusting the seat and adjusting the tilt to it. Then, of course, we hit our side view mirrors, and that was an important one, because without the side view mirrors, we can't see nothing, y'all. So very, very important. Now, the CarFit program is available here in Central Florida, and I told on Breakfast with Bridget this morning, my dream, I know this sounds ridiculous, would be to host 2 large CarFit events in 2024 for our seniors. I'd love to host one, obviously, in the Villages, and then, of course, in the Daytona area. Would absolutely die over that, because, one, I've learned that the seniors love to learn something new, and you guys are so much fun to be around. Y'all know I got a sense of humor, so. But I appreciate you guys joining me on this Wednesday, December 27th, 2 days after Christmas. We're here talking about how to fit better in your car, how to be a safer driver. So I appreciate you guys joining me today. Hope you guys have an amazing, blessed Wednesday. Team's with you the rest of the week. I'm going to do a live on social media here in a few if you want to join me. But yeah. Fit well, be well, drive safely, wear your seatbelt. Love you guys.